Good evening. This is All India Radio. I'm Naresh Mago and with me is Manoj Singh Rana with the evening news. The headlines. Nitish Kumar to take oath as next Chief Minister of Bihar tomorrow. Home Minister Amit Shah reviews COVID situation in Delhi, directs to increase RT-PCR tests twofold. National COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 93.09%. Labour Ministry notifies draft rules under the Code on Social Security 2020. Lonar Lake in Maharashtra and Keetham Lake in Uttar Pradesh added to Ramsar sites. And President and Prime Minister express condolence over demise of veteran Bengali actor Soumitra Chatterjee. As the nation fights the COVID-19 pandemic, we begin with a message of precaution to stay safe and protected by following these three simple steps. Wear a face mask. Maintain 2 gaz ki doori for social distancing and focus on hand and face hygiene. Now the news. Nitish Kumar will be the Chief Minister of Bihar for the 7th time. The JDU leader was today elected unanimously the leader of National Democratic Alliance. The decision was taken at a joint meeting of the NDA in Patna. Earlier, the newly elected legislators of JDU elected him the leader of the party. The meeting was convened at the official residence of Chief Minister Nitish Kumar. After being elected as the NDA leader in Bihar, Mr. Kumar said that he did not want to become the Chief Minister of the state, but agreed to lead the NDA at the request of the BJP. The oath ceremony will take place tomorrow afternoon. Mr. Kumar, along with his Council of Ministers, will take the oath of office in secrecy before Governor Fagu Chauhan. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh was present in the joint meeting of NDA as the observer. He said that the name of Deputy CM will be decided after talks with the elected legislators of the BJP.
एनडीए विधायक दल के नेता श्री नीतीश कुमार जी निर्वाचित हुए हैं और भारतीय जनता पार्टी विधायक दल के नेता श्री तारकिशोर जी और उपनेता श्रीमती रेणु देवी निर्वाचित हुई हैं। डिप्टी सीएम का फैसला तो यह सब बैठकर करेंगे लोग।
Union Minister Nityanand Rai, Party in charge of Bihar Affairs Bhupendra Yadav, Election in charge Devendra Fadnavis and Bihar BJP President Sanjay Jaiswal were also present in the meeting. Hindustani Awam Morcha Hum President Jitan Ram Manjhi and Vikashsheel Insan Party VIP Chief Mukesh Sahni also attended the meeting. The NDA has secured an absolute majority by winning 125 seats in the recently held assembly elections. One independent MLA, Sumit Singh, has also extended support to the NDA. Tarkishore Prasad has been unanimously elected as the leader of BJP Legislature Party, while Renu Devi has been elected as deputy leader. Our correspondent has a report.
Nitish Kumar will take oath as Chief Minister of Bihar for 7th time tomorrow. This time Sushil Kumar Bodhi will not be Deputy Chief Minister. Tarkishore Prasad was unanimously elected as leader of BJP Legislature Party while Renu Devi as a Deputy Leader. Maximum 36 ministers can be accommodated in the cabinet. Discussion between BJP and JDU is underway about number of ministers. There will be one minister each from NDA allies, Hindustani Awam Morcha and Vikashsheel Insan Party. Election of Assembly Speaker and other issues are also being discussed among allies of NDA. With KK Lal's report from Patna, Naveen Saxena, AIR News.
Home Minister Amit Shah today reviewed the prevailing COVID-19 situation in Delhi at a high-level meeting in which he directed to increase the RT-PCR test in Delhi twofold. After holding the meeting, Mr. Shah in a series of tweets said that mobile testing vans of the Ministry of Health and the ICMR will be deployed where there is a high risk of COVID-19 infection by maximizing the use of the capacity of labs in Delhi. He said the capacity of hospitals and availability of other medical infrastructure in Delhi should be increased, as well as 250 to 300 ICU beds will be added in DRDO COVID-19 hospital located in Dholakwa, built in May this year, so that treatment can be provided for serious COVID patients there. Mr. Shah says that the 10,000-bed COVID center in Chhatarpur will be further strengthened with an aim to increase the availability of beds with oxygen facilities. He said some identified hospitals of MCD will be converted into dedicated hospitals for the treatment of mild COVID-19 patients. Union Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan, Delhi Lieutenant Governor Anil Baijal, Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal and senior officials were present in the meeting. A total of 3,235 new confirmed cases of coronavirus infection were reported in Delhi during the last 24 hours, taking the total number of cases to over 4,85,000. The Delhi government says that over 4,37,000 people affected with coronavirus have been cured so far. In the last 24 hours, 7,606 people recovered and 95 deaths were reported in the city, taking the toll to 7,614. Presently, the total number of active cases in the national capital is 39,990.
The country's COVID-19 recovery rate has reached 93.09%. More than 42,000 COVID patients recovered in the last 24 hours. According to the Health Ministry, the total number of recoveries has gone up to over 82 lakh. The actual caseload currently comprises only 5.44% of the total positive cases. Presently, the total number of active cases in the country is 4,79,000. In the past 24 hours, 41,100 new cases were reported, taking the total number of positive cases to over 88 lakh. The ministry said that effective implementation of the strategic and graded test, track and treat approach has led to higher recoveries and lower fatalities. Currently, India's case fatality rate is at 1.47%, which is one of the lowest globally. In the last 24 hours, 447 deaths were reported, taking the toll to 1,29,635. According to Indian Council of Medical Research, over 8,05,000 tests were conducted in the last 24 hours. The total number of samples tested so far has gone up to 12,48 lakh. The Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan today said by the first or second month of next year, the vaccine will be available in India.
दुनिया के अंदर 200 से ज्यादा वैक्सीन कैंडिडेट्स हैं, उसमें से थोड़े से क्लिनिकल ट्रायल्स में एडवांस स्टेजेस में पहुंच गए हैं, 3-4 हमारे भारत के हैं उसमें, और उसमें से भी 2 तो थर्ड फेज में पहुंच गए हैं। और उस सबके आधार पर हमें उम्मीद है कि जैसे नया साल शुरू होगा 2021, तो पहले महीने में नहीं तो दूसरे महीने में हमारे को निश्चित रूप से वैक्सीन उपलब्ध हो जाएगी।
Talking to AIR, Director AIMS Dr. Randeep Guleria said, "We have to continue our fight. The war is still on and we have to take all the efforts to take the number down."
We have to really continue our fight against COVID-19. This is not the time to say that the war is over, the war is still on. We have to understand that there are still people who are dying, there are still hospitals which are admitting patients with COVID-19. The recovery rate is good, but that doesn't mean that it's zero. There's zero mortality. There are people who are still having what we call long COVID, suffering even after recovering from COVID, and therefore we have to take all efforts to bring the number of cases down, to save lives, and to do that every person, every citizen has to have a disciplined behavior.
In Andhra Pradesh, 2,140 people have been discharged after recovering from various COVID hospitals in the state in the past 24 hours. A total of 8,54,011 COVID positive cases have been recorded so far in the state. Out of them, 8,28,484 people have recovered and 18,659 are under treatment. 6,868 COVID deaths have been reported in Andhra Pradesh. More than 91.54 lakh samples have been tested in the state so far.
In Maharashtra, as all the religious places are opening from tomorrow, many famous temples are making special arrangements to facilitate the devotees to visit the temples without crowding and following COVID-19 guidelines. Famous Tuljapur temple in Osmanabad has made the provision of free passes for the devotees, which will be issued online. More from our correspondent.
Devotees of Tulja Bhavani can seek the blessings of goddess from tomorrow without crowding the temple premises, as the temple authorities have made the provision of free passes to enter the temple. The passes will be available online on the website of the temple, and at the same time, those who doesn't have internet access can collect their passes in person from 4 centers in Tuljapur. According to Saudagar Saundale, the manager of the temple committee and Tahsildar of Tuljapur, the temple will be sanitized after every 2 hours, and batch of only 500 devotees will be allowed following the SOPs and COVID-19 guidelines to enter the temple after each interval of sanitization. Shailesh Patil, AR News, Mumbai.
In Karnataka, after the announcement of reopening of colleges on November the 17th by the government, the Bangalore University has made preparations for the physical classes for students of its undergraduate and postgraduate courses. The Vice-Chancellor of Bangalore University, Professor Venugopal K.R.S. said that safety measures are being taken in the situation of COVID-19 pandemic. He held a meeting of the principals of the colleges and the chairpersons of the university departments in this regard. More from our correspondent.
Bangalore University Vice-Chancellor Professor Venugopal has said that standard operating procedures issued by the University Grants Commission will be implemented while reopening colleges. He added that 5 task forces have been constituted who will monitor and supervise academic activities. At present, it is desired to begin physical classes only to final year degree and postgraduate degree classes. It has been directed to obtain a consent letter from the parents of the students for attending physical classes in the prescribed format. The online classes will continue for students of other semesters. Sudhindra, AIR News, Bengaluru.
The state reported 1,565 new COVID cases today as against 2,363 recoveries. Till date, 8,22,953 people have recovered from the coronavirus infection. Karnataka has improved its parameters in terms of the spread of the pandemic. The positivity rate stands at 1.57% and the case fatality rate is at 1.34%. The recovery rate is over 95%. The cases are doubling in 65 days. The deaths per million population are 187.4. The state conducted 99,606 COVID tests today, in which 82,531 were RT-PCR tests. Kerala reported more recoveries than positive cases as 4,581 new cases of COVID were confirmed today, while 6,684 people recovered from the infection in the state. The total number of active COVID cases in Kerala has come down to 74,802. Meanwhile, 21 recent deaths were also confirmed due to COVID today, taking the death toll in the state to 1,869.
In view of the increasing number of COVID-19 cases in Himachal Pradesh, the state government has decided to place greater emphasis on contact tracing of infected persons so that immediate preventive measures could be taken in time. Talking to senior officials of the districts through video conferencing from Shimla today, Chief Minister Jairam Thakur expressed concern over the increase in the number of COVID cases as well as deaths of COVID-19 patients during the last few days in the state. Mr. Thakur directed officers that bed capacity of all the COVID hospitals and COVID care centres must be increased. He said that more ambulances with oxygen cylinder must also be deployed to facilitate the prompt transportation of critical patients from home isolation to COVID care centres or COVID hospitals. Meanwhile, the number of active cases has gone up to 6,623 in the state. 512 active cases were reported from Mandi district, followed by 1,362 in Shimla. Kullu district stands third with 984 cases. The total number of affected people so far in the state has reached 29,457. However, all of them, 22,370 patients have recovered. So far, 435 deaths have been registered in the state due to COVID-19. You're listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Nitish Kumar to take oath as next Chief Minister of Bihar tomorrow. Home Minister Amit Shah reviews COVID situation in Delhi, directs to increase RT-PCR tests twofold. National COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 93.09%. Labour Ministry notifies draft rules under the Code on Social Security 2020. Lonar Lake in Maharashtra and Keetham Lake in Uttar Pradesh added to Ramsar sites. And President and Prime Minister expressed condolence over demise of veteran Bengali actor Soumitra Chatterjee. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे,
The Labour Ministry has notified draft rules under the Code on Social Security 2020. The draft rules provide for operationalization of provisions in the Code on Social Security 2020 relating to Employees Provident Fund, Employees State Insurance Corporation, gratuity, maternity benefit, Social Security and cess in respect of building and other construction workers, Social Security for unorganized workers, gig workers and platform workers. The Ministry has invited objections and suggestions from the stakeholders. It says such objections and suggestions are required to be submitted within a period of 45 days from the date of notification of the draft rules. The draft rules also provide for Aadhaar-based registration, including self-registration by unorganized workers, gig workers and platform workers on the portal of the central government. Provision has also been made in the rules regarding gratuity to an employee who is on fixed-term employment. Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change Prakash Javadekar has expressed happiness that India has added 2 more Ramsar sites. They are Lonar Lake in Maharashtra, which is the only crater lake of the country, while the other is Sur Sarovar, also known as Keetham Lake in Agra of Uttar Pradesh. In a tweet, Mr. Javadekar said that wetlands are the world's natural water filters and one of the most productive ecosystems on the planet. The Ramsar Convention, signed on 2nd February 1971, is one of the oldest intergovernmental accords signed by member countries to preserve the ecological character of their wetlands of international importance. The aim of the Ramsar list is to develop and maintain an international network of wetlands which are important for the conservation of global biological diversity and for sustaining human life through the maintenance of their ecosystem components, processes and benefits. Wetlands declared as Ramsar sites are protected under the strict guidelines of the Convention.
Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu paid tributes to the iconic tribal freedom fighter Birsa Munda on his birth anniversary today. In a tweet, Mr. Naidu said, known as Dharti Abba or Father of the Earth, Birsa Munda mobilized the tribals against the oppression of the British. He said Birsa Munda's fearlessness and determination motivated many tribals to fight against the unjust colonial rule. The Vice President said Birsa Munda will always be remembered for his immense efforts to protect the rights of the tribals. Mr. Naidu greeted the people of Jharkhand on their state formation day today. He said land of forests or Jharkhand is a treasure trove of minerals and the people of the state have made an immense contribution in various fields to the growth of the nation. Prime Minister Narendra Modi paid gratitude to Birsa Munda on his birth anniversary. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said Birsa Munda was true saviour of the poor and worked for welfare of deprived and exploited section of society. He said his contribution to freedom movement and efforts for social harmony will always inspire people. In one of his Man Ki Baat programs last year, the Prime Minister said,
भगवान बिरसा मुंडा ने सिर्फ अपने पारंपरिक तीर कमान से ही बंदूक और तोपों से लैस अंग्रेजी शासन को हिलाकर रख दिया था। दरअसल जब लोगों को एक प्रेरणादायी नेतृत्व मिलता है तो फिर हथियारों की शक्ति पर लोगों की सामूहिक इच्छा शक्ति भारी पड़ती है। भगवान बिरसा मुंडा ने अंग्रेजों से न केवल राजनीतिक आजादी के लिए संघर्ष किया बल्कि आदिवासियों के सामाजिक और आर्थिक अधिकारों के लिए भी लड़ाई लड़ी। अपने छोटे से जीवन में उन्होंने यह सब कर दिखाया। वंचितों और शोषितों के अंधेरे से भरे जीवन में सूरज की तरह चमक बिखेरी।
Prime Minister greeted the residents of Jharkhand on their statehood day.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will unveil the Statue of Peace to mark the 151st birth anniversary celebrations of Jain Acharya Shri Vijay Vallabh Surishwarji Maharaj tomorrow through video conferencing. The 151-inch tall statue has been made from Ashtadhatu, 8 metals, with copper being the major constituent, and is being installed at Vijay Vallabh Sadhana Kendra, Jaipura in Pali, Rajasthan. Shri Vijay Vallabh Surishwarji Maharaj led an austere life as a Jain saint, working selflessly and dedicatedly to spread the message of Lord Mahavir. He also worked relentlessly for the welfare of the masses, spread of education, eradication of social evils, wrote inspiring literature, and gave active support to the freedom movement and the cause of Swadeshi. With his inspiration, more than 50 educational institutions of eminence, including colleges, schools and study centers, are operational across several states. The statue to be unveiled in his honor has been named as Statue of Peace. President Ramnath Kovind, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and several prominent persons have expressed condolences over the demise of veteran Bengali actor Soumitra Chatterjee. In his message, President Kovind said, "The Indian cinema has lost one of its legends." In a series of tweets, he said, "Soumitra Chatterjee will be specially remembered for the Apu trilogy and other memorable performances in Satyajit Ray's masterpieces." The President said, "Soumitra Chatterjee's performances won him several national and international awards, including Dada Saheb Phalke Award, Padma Bhushan, and Legion d'Honneur." In his message, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said, "Soumitra Chatterjee's death is a colossal loss to the world of cinema, cultural life of West Bengal and India." He said through his works, he came to embody Bengali sensibilities, emotions, and ethos. Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar has also expressed grief over the death of the iconic actor. In a tweet, Mr. Javadekar said, "The passing away of Soumitra Chatterjee is a big loss to the film industry." He conveyed his heartfelt condolences to the family, friends, and fans of the departed actor. Here is a tribute.
Veteran actor and Dada Saheb Phalke Award recipient Soumitra Chatterjee passed away at a Kolkata nursing home today. He was 85. The actor had been hospitalized on October 6, 2020 after being tested COVID positive. However, he was declared COVID negative later, but he succumbed to other ailments, the hospital sources say. West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee had declared that the actor would be cremated with full honors and gun salute. Chatterjee had started his career in All India Radio Kolkata as an announcer. He made his first appearance on the silver screen as Opu in the Opu Sangsar with the great maestro Satyajit Ray as the director. The director-actor duo had created magic in 14 films. Chatterjee had been active on big and small screens almost till the date he fell sick. Shushmita Mondol, AIR, Kolkata.
In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, on the occasion of Diwali, the Festival of Lights, a Vishesh Puja was organized by Sri Mata Vaishno Devi Shrine Board at the Holy Cave Shrine of Sri Mata Vaishno Devi last evening. AIR Jammu correspondent reports that the Vishesh Puja was held for peace, prosperity, health and well-being of humanity. Chappan Bhog were offered to the goddess amid chanting of Vedic mantras and other religious ceremonies. Pertinently, in consonance with the directions of the Shrine Board, besides making efforts to provide increasingly best possible facilities to the visiting pilgrims, the focus is also on organizing special Path, Puja, Havan, Yajna and other rituals on various auspicious occasions for enhancing religious activities at the holy shrine. A large number of pilgrims and officials of the Shrine Board were present on the occasion. The North East Frontier Railway, or NFR, is running 7 festival special trains from today, while 1 train each will run on 5 routes: Guwahati-Secunderabad, Guwahati-Pune, New Tinsukia Ranchi, Guwahati-Howrah and Agartala-Howrah. 2 trains will ply from Agartala to Prayagraj. The Guwahati-Secunderabad train was scheduled to leave Guwahati at 11:45 a.m. today to reach Secunderabad at 1:45 p.m. on Tuesday. 1 special train will leave Guwahati at 8 p.m. tomorrow to reach Pune at 3:45 p.m. on November the 19th. On the 17th of November, the New Tinsukia Ranchi special train will start from New Tinsukia at 12 noon and reach Ranchi on November the 19th. 1 special train will leave from Guwahati at 7:45 a.m. on the 17th of November to reach Howrah at 6 a.m. the next day. The Agartala-Howrah train will leave the Tripura capital at 6 a.m. on November the 18th to reach Howrah at 8:30 p.m. on the 19th of November.
25 persons have been arrested in the last 4 days for issuance of fake invoices. Sources in the Directorate General of GST Intelligence, DGGI, said the actual amount of fake input tax credit ITC involved is being ascertained. It said search and investigation are on to identify and apprehend the other persons who were involved in the racket and also the beneficiaries who've used the fake invoices to evade GST, income tax and do money laundering. Major goods involved in these cases include iron and steel, copper wire, plastic granules, ready-made garments, gold and silver, agro products, milk products and mobiles. The DGGI said that the drive against the GST evaders and ITC fraudsters is expected to further intensify in days to come, and many more arrests will be made. The government has said that nearly 24 lakh paddy farmers have benefited from the ongoing Kharif marketing season procurement operations, with an MSP outflow of over 52,781 crore rupees. The Agriculture Ministry in a statement said that paddy procurement for Kharif 2020-21 is continuing smoothly in the procuring states of Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Telangana, Uttarakhand, Tamil Nadu, Chandigarh, Kerala, Gujarat and Andhra Pradesh. It said so far over 279 lakh metric tons of paddy have been procured against the last year corresponding purchase of 230.52 lakh metric tons. It shows an increase of 21.27% over the last year. Out of the total purchase of over 279 lakh metric tons, Punjab alone has contributed 194.63 lakh metric tons, which is 69.62% of the total procurement. The ministry said, based on the proposal from the states, approval was accorded for procurement of over 45 lakh metric tons of pulse and oil seeds of Kharif marketing season 2020 for the states of Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Telangana, Gujarat, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Odisha, Rajasthan and Andhra Pradesh under the Price Support Scheme.
Newly appointed Chief Information Commissioner of India, Yashwardhan Kumar Sinha, today called on Minister of State for Personnel, Public Grievances and Pensions, Dr. Jitendra Singh. During half-an-hour meeting with the Minister, the Chief Information Commissioner gave a brief about the progressively improving disposal rate of the RTI applications. He said that in the month of June, in spite of COVID-19 pandemic, the monthly disposal rate of RTI applications was higher than the rate in the corresponding month of June last year. In Jammu and Kashmir, higher reaches received a fresh spell of light to moderate snowfall yesterday while plains received rains. Meteorological Department has predicted the wet spell to continue today. The fresh snowfall in the upper reaches due to an active western disturbance has resulted in closure of major highways in Kashmir. The Srinagar-Leh National Highway has been closed for vehicular traffic. Holy cave of Swami Amarnathji in Sheshnag recorded 2 feet snow, whereas Chandanwadi, Sinthan Top and Kapran upper reaches recorded 1 foot snow. Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. The national capital is likely to experience fog or mist in the morning and partly cloudy sky later. The minimum temperature will be 11 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be around 16 degrees Celsius. In Mumbai, sky will be clear and the temperature will vary between 23 and 35 degrees Celsius. Chennai will have thunderstorm with rain. The temperature will hover between 24 and 31 degrees Celsius. Kolkata is likely to have clear sky with temperature fluctuating between 21 and 32 degrees Celsius. On to the north, in Srinagar, light snowfall is expected. The temperature will hover between 1 and 12 degrees Celsius. In Jammu, lower level of temperature will be 14 degrees Celsius while the upper level will be around 22. Sky will be generally cloudy with light rain. In Leh, light snowfall is expected. The minimum temperature will be -1 degree Celsius while the maximum will be around 12 degrees. Gilgit will experience rain or snowfall with temperature hovering between 6 degrees and 14 degrees Celsius. Muzaffarabad is likely to have thunderstorm with rain. The temperature will move from 6 to 15 degrees Celsius. In Dehradun, the temperature will hover between 11 and 25 degrees Celsius. The city is likely to have partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm. Chandigarh will have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunderstorms. The temperature is likely to move from 13 to 25 degrees Celsius.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Nitish Kumar to take oath as next Chief Minister of Bihar tomorrow. Home Minister Amit Shah reviews COVID situation in Delhi, directs to increase RT-PCR tests twofold. National COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 93.09%. Labour Ministry notifies draft rules under the Code on Social Security 2020. Lonar Lake in Maharashtra and Keetham Lake in Uttar Pradesh added to Ramsar sites. And President and Prime Minister express condolence over the demise of veteran Bengali actor Soumitra Chatterjee. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.com and News on AIR app. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.